this shoulder mobility routine, start by coming to your hands and your knees and then push into your hands to push back to downward dog. Push into your heels and feel free to pedal your feet out. You should feel a stretch all along the back of your legs. Next, you're going to come forward into a plank and then push back into a down dog. You can take your feet a little wider if that feels good. And then roll forward into a plank and push back into a downward dog. And just repeat that a few times. Come forward, push back, come forward, and push back. Forward, maybe bringing your feet together. And this time, let's lower down into all the way to the ground, actually. And then do a little baby cobra up. Legs all the way on the ground. Come back down, loosen up your shoulders a little. And take your hands around to the low back and hold them like one hand holding the opposite wrist. Then what you're gonna do is squeeze them up towards your shoulder, let go, and start rotating your arms all around. You'll probably feel your shoulders click a little bit as you rotate your shoulders through their full range of motion. Make sure you have adequate space around you to get your arms all the way up in front of your face. And then try to turn your pinkies upward, touch your back behind your neck, and then all the way back around. Flip those arms around and try to grab that wrist again and squeeze up. This is called handcuff with rotation, and it will warm up every part of your shoulder joint. So again, open up those arms, rotate them around so your pinkies are now facing the sky, and then touch the back of your neck. This is so much easier said than done. Then start rotating those arms back around. When you get back to your low back, grab one of your wrists and squeeze up towards your shoulder blades. And try to do this about 5 times through and do it with intention, really moving your shoulders throughout their entire range of motion, rotating fully all the way around. And this should be pretty tiring and pretty uncomfortable, but it will really, really warm up your shoulders, which will make any kind of push press variation much more comfortable throughout the rest of your workout. I think this is number 4. Rotate around, turn those pinkies up, touch the back of your neck, and back around. Keep your face down towards the ground, forehead on the ground this whole time. And then you can do another little baby cobra. Maybe you'll be able to come higher up this time. And then you can push up into a full upward dog. And roll over your toes back to downward dog. Come back into that plank. We'll do a couple more plank to down dogs like we did before. This should feel pretty good now that your shoulders are warmed up from that handcuff move. Back to plank, back to down dog. You can always pedal out your feet, push one heel into the ground, come up on the opposite toe, go back and forth, back out to plank, back down to down dog. And you can do this as long as it feels good to you, as long as you feel like you have some more loosening up to do. Then next, bring your right foot forward, keep your left hand down, and just bring your right hand to your left leg and kind of twist your torso, and then come back to plank. And let's do the same on the opposite side. Left foot forward, left hand up on that thigh, and kind of twist. Keep your right hand on the ground. This is called lizard with rotation. We'll go into downward dog in between. This time, right foot forward. Lift the right arm all the way up to the sky and twist from the torso. Back down, push into down dog. Same on the left side, left foot forward. Left arm all the way to the sky. Look up if you can. Back down, back to downward dog. And you can keep going back and forth with that as long as it feels good. Again, right foot forward, right hand to the sky, look up, back to plank, push back to down dog, left foot forward, left arm up, twist the torso, look up, back down, back to plank, push to down dog, back to the first side, right knee forward, right arm up, hold, back to plank, and push to down dog. Left foot forward, left arm up, look up if you can. Back to plank, push to down dog. And then once you feel like your shoulders are opening up and feel a little bit warmer in the shoulder joint, you can come to all fours. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your knees are under your hips. And we're going to thread the needle now. So reach your right arm under your left and use your left arm to kind of help twist your torso open so you can look up at the sky. And then come back to all fours, take your left hand and thread it under your right shoulder. Again, use the right arm as kind of a kickstand. Help your torso rotate open and look up. And back to the first side again. This one will really help open up the shoulders as well. Again, this is thread the needle. So right arm over, looking up to the left. Come to all fours. This time thread the left arm under the right. Look up. And come back to all fours. And you can hold these for a good breath or two until you really feel the joint warming up, loosening up, and you feel a greater sense of mobility. I really like to use the opposite hand as that sort of kickstand to help leverage the twist from my torso, my upper thoracic area, upper back. That feels a lot better, hopefully, by that point. Now, another thing you can do to warm up the shoulders is take a light band and do some chest pulls. So you're going to hold the band with your palms up. I'll go to the side so you can see a little better. I'm going to pull this right at chest level open. And then once it's all the way open, hold for a little bit and bring my shoulder blades together. Squeeze my shoulder blades together and then come out. Open, shoulder blades, back and out. Open at chest level, shoulder blades, out and back. Open, squeeze the shoulder blades, out and back. You can just do a few of those. And then if you have something light, like a broomstick, this is a good one too to finish off. You can take that broomstick and you can just try to draw slow circles from front to back. And you'll usually have a sort of sticking point where your range of motion is a little hard to get through. So when you have that sticking point, you can go slower, you can sit there for a bit, or you can go back and forth a little bit until it loosens up. Remember, you can also squeeze the shoulder blades together to get through those sticking points. And just go back and forth as many times as it takes to feel like this gets a little bit easier. If you bring your hands closer together on the broomstick, that's going to make it more challenging. keeping your hands a little further apart will make it a little bit easier. Now the last one I'll show you, I believe it's the last one, is face pulls. So for face pulls, you'll want to take that same light band, probably around the same weight, and hitch it to some kind of something. I have it hitched to my squat rack there. You can see I could put it in like a door anchor too. And you can do this sitting or standing, but I'm going to do it from the floor. So I have the band up, hitched to my squat rack, and now I'm going to pull the band towards my face. But what I'm not going to do is pull with my elbows. Instead, I'm going to try to externally rotate my shoulders and get my palms down to the ground. And again, squeeze my shoulder blades together on the floor. This is much harder than bringing the elbows down. And you can do this as many times as it takes to feel like you're getting that external rotation and range of motion. And if you really want to challenge, once you're there, you can also bring the entire pull up and hold it there for a second and bring it back down and then back to that starting point. And those are face pulls. They're also great at the end of the workout, just to make sure that you really are reinforcing upper thoracic mobility. Hope that helps your shoulders feel nice and warm. Definitely do that anytime you're going to be doing any kind of push movement. It'll help a lot.